A CEO reads an article about automation, walks into the boardroom, and issues a mandate. Figure out how to use AI across the company today. What follows is a frantic sprint of implementation. Marketing buys ChatGPT, sales installs chatbots, and operations automates whatever workflows they find. 3 months later, the volume of output looks impressive. The company is generating 5 times the content and fielding thousands of automated messages. But when they check the actual bottom line, revenue hasn't moved an inch. Even worse, internal data is completely disorganized, and the staff is already abandoning the new tools. The mistake here is starting the process by asking, which AI tool should we buy, instead of asking, where is the business actually losing money? AI functions as a strict multiplier. It accepts whatever input you provide and scales it. Feed it a disorganized process, and the technology amplifies the chaos. But apply that multiplier to a clean, standardized procedure, and it scales into a highly efficient system. Deploying artificial intelligence into a company without repairing the underlying operations first ensures one predictable outcome: the business will execute its mistakes significantly faster. To see this in practice, look at this sales funnel for a mid-sized distributor we'll call ABC Cosmetics. They bring in strong top-line revenue, but as this massive structural crack at the bottom shows, they only retain 20% of their customers. Their initial attempt to automate involved generating more marketing content to attract new leads. The top of the funnel widens significantly, but because the retention leak is ignored, the customer loss simply accelerates. The core issue was how they managed their data. Customer histories, complaints, and preferences were scattered across private chat messages, individual vet sheets, and the personal memories of the sales staff. When you feed fragmented, unstructured context to a language model, it can only return generic advice. It might suggest sending better offers or improving loyalty, but it cannot diagnose the actual problem. Treating the rollout as an IT installation instead of a management overhaul creates an expensive automated answering machine that ignores the active money leak. Fixing this requires stepping away from the software entirely and thinking like a systems engineer to diagnose why that retention leak exists. We start by mapping the data on this customer journey timeline. When we look closely at the purchase history, we can isolate a highly specific failure point. Buyers of an acne treatment product are dropping off exactly 14 days after their initial purchase. Before writing a single prompt, management must construct a rigid, standardized procedure around that weak point. They map out a precise sequence of human check-ins and follow-up scripts designed specifically to support those buyers through their first 30 days. Only after the standard operating procedure is proven to work manually do they insert the automation. The AI is assigned a very narrow task: analyze incoming replies for that specific product and generate the follow-up message from the approved script. Confining the technology inside a strict set of human rules turns it into a precision instrument that directly targets and repairs a quantifiable business bottleneck. Once ABC Cosmetics focused entirely on resolving that day 14 drop-off, their metrics shifted. Retention climbed to 35%, the lifetime value of each customer increased, and overall marketing costs decreased. But there is a final trap that companies fall into even after a successful deployment. It's the illusion of the super employee, where a few specific staff members figure out how to use the software to work incredibly fast. The risk here is that the knowledge is highly localized. If your best salesperson leaves for another job, their custom prompts and finely tuned workflows walk out the door with them, dropping the company's capabilities back to zero. The real solution lies in building organizational assets. Every effective prompt or workflow must be captured and centralized into a company playbook. Scalable organizations build long-term value by accumulating compounding structural assets. They start by isolating the specific bottleneck draining revenue, letting the problem itself dictate the tool.